Oh, it's aggravating. It says, okay, so apparently I am finally live. I don't have anybody in here yet. And I'll just tell you, this has been a nightmare to try to figure out how to do this, how to go live. I used to go live all the time, or a few times, not all the time. I used to go live a few times, and sometimes it worked well, sometimes it was okay. But it was like I had this really idea to have a conversation about live streaming because we did some live streaming today up on the mountain, and it appears, at least it appears right now, that there's some issues with the cases, and that's really a pain. But anyway, we've tried to go live all day, and we had this crazy stuff happen. I had a good run when we were up on the skyline. I had a great video. I felt great about that video, and for whatever reason, I deleted it. It was an accident. I'm not even going to bore you with how a moron like me deletes a video like that because it was a great video, a lot of interaction, or some interaction, I guess I should say. And so that's what I was going to talk about. Also, that and trying to figure out some live stuff and to see if I could get a few people in here to talk to me about going live on YouTube and people's interest in. I'm interested when my favorite creators go live. And so I guess it really depends. But what I'm going to do first, if you don't care, I'm going to go into Facebook and post this that we're actually meeting here. It helps out a great deal to be able to talk because I've tried to have these conversations when I was first going live, and that was difficult to say the least because there would be like no one in there, and so you're trying to talk and pretend people are live, and it doesn't really work. So anyway, we'll try to get started here in just a second. I appreciate your patience. I hope you stick around. If I can get the right things in here. And my computer, for whatever reason, is like dragging now. And that's hysterical too. And all these things that I had to do, I thought my encoder was already set up. I had an encoder because I'd scheduled this for, I think it was 9:15 or 9 o'clock. 8:45. Yeah, that was the first one. 8:45. Then I redid it. And then after 8:45, that's when I started having the problems. And it's taken right at an hour to kind of get things going again here in the groove. But I'm still trying to get this on Facebook. Maybe we'll get a few people in here from Facebook. I may have earned 5,000 subscribers this year, but it's still hard to go live. I think the most I've ever had was like 22 people live. It's easier to go on Facebook and go live. I can get 50 people on Facebook going live, but I'm not monetized on Facebook. I'm monetized on YouTube. So it's more beneficial, to do things on YouTube. At least it is for me. But like I said, everything is taking 17 hours to load for whatever reason. But I'm going to get started and say this. I went to Massanutten today, the ski resort. That video posted, but it's like, nah, I forgot to. When you do the live thing, if you've ever done a YouTube live, it's kind of cool. The app is great. I think it's better than Facebook Live. That's just my opinion. But you have like so many seconds to decide if you're going to go landscape or like here's my phone. If you want to go, landscape or do it like this. And I waited too long, so I like old school, holding my phone like this, trying to show it to people, and it just doesn't look that good. And I wasn't really in a place where I could vlog. But what I'm interested in knowing is like how successful is it? I guess let me put it to you. Let me say it this way: how interested are people in, let's say you're in a beautiful place like we were this evening. I mean, the sunset was like gorgeous and the air quality was amazing. It was Christmas night or going into Christmas night. It was a great moment. And trying to capture that live in that moment as opposed to just chopping it up and editing it and making a video. It seems like sometimes that process is like more genuine and more authentic. By the way, I would really appreciate it if you think about it, to if you want to share this on Facebook and invite some people in, that would be great. And for some reason, like I said, my computer is running like a snail. Give me a moment. I'm going to put, come chat with us about streaming live. I'm telling you, I've never seen my computer run this slow, and I'm not sure why it's running so slow, but it is. And I got a Mac. I've never seen my Mac act like this before. Come chat with us about streaming live. Oh my goodness, this thing is like, what are you doing? And I'm getting hourglasses on some other things. I'm wondering if this shuts off. I'm sorry, I'll probably give up if it does. But I'm going to X out of that, and I'm just going to see. No, it's still on. Okay, good. And so I actually have to. We're kind of like in real mode right now, so we're not like in studio mode where everybody's quiet. Earlier, the dishwasher was going, the washer and dryer, and our duplex here that we have in Virginia. Remember, we moved from Tennessee back in July up here to Virginia, and it's a gorgeous duplex. So we have a great view. Dad lives downstairs in that part of the duplex, and it's pretty big. But I don't have an office here like I did in Chattanooga, and I never got my studio finished in Chattanooga to be able to do this kind of stuff. I actually got away from the whole live thing anyway because it was too serious, it was too political, it just wasn't what our channel is all about. And I would rather have conversations with people. Like I said, if we're going to do the live thing, and the live thing seems like it would be a pretty good idea, especially places like today during prime time when it's not after 9 o'clock and people are ready to kind of just scroll through Facebook. They don't really want to have deep conversations. But Carolyn and I go to amazing places, and we're not stopping anytime soon. I mean, we're always, trying to figure out a way to go to another exciting place or another exciting place. And I think we could do a lot better sometimes, especially as this channel is becoming profitable, to actually bring the viewer in, bring yourself into to that moment, as opposed to just watching a nice cut up video, but actually come into that moment. And it's kind of cool. Come chat with us about streaming live. And then I'm going to put the link here, but it's probably going to take forever to post. We'll see. It's fetching a preview. I don't know if that is going to be. Oh, that's funny. I am not posting that until I know what it is. So I'm going to have to actually text my wife and let her check that link and see whether or not it's even a good link. So I'm doing that now. Whoever you are, one person that's in here, thank you. And I just found out it's like Carolyn. So, hey, I am like positive that I'm going to put this video like on my regular YouTube channel. I'm trying to record the video at the same time, and I'm going to do that on purpose because I'm going to cut this up and make it hysterical. Earlier, I had like all kinds of people on here, not in here, not in the studio. Dad, are you coming in? Is that Dad? Dad! I don't know. Anyway. So earlier I had all kinds of people coming in when we were up on the mountain, and then I was trying to go live. And I'm telling you what it is. It's because I had it scheduled. We put out an announcement to our subscribers, and then I didn't show up. And that's the worst thing you can do. So I'm sending this link now to Carolyn. I'm going to make the funniest video out of this if I can get the raw footage. I'm telling you, it's going to be hysterical. My computer is dragging like 5 miles an hour right now. So I'm going to let Carolyn check into that and see how she does.
Region not available. What is the link to?
The link is actually to what I'm doing right now. That's why I don't have anyone in here. But it says that I'm streaming and that I've been streaming for 9 minutes, but I don't have a link. And I'm not sure. I guess that's normal. Let's see what this is. Oh, well, oh. Let me try this link. I think I just found out. I have 2 watching, so I have a second person watching now. By the way, if you've just stepped in, what I'm actually trying to do is make sense out of the live stream. I'm very grateful that you're here, even if it's just 2 people right now, and I got 1 thumbs up. Praise the Lord. That's great, because I have had a terrible time. We had this great video going up on the skyline here in Virginia, and it was great. I mean, we were excited. It was like, this is it. This is going to be a great video. And I mean, it just, there's a world of opportunities if you have a signal. And like Carolyn and I, we travel like everywhere. And to bring people in and be able to monetize that into some of these amazing moments where we're on top of a mountain. This actually happened over in the Pisgah National Forest. And did I say that right? Pisgah, right? The Pisgah National Forest. It's near the Biltmore, but it's, when I say near the Biltmore, the Pisgah National Forest is like huge. And we're on top of this rock ledge looking over this beautiful, beautiful valley. And there's just giant 5,000 feet, 7,000 feet mountains everywhere around us. And I think we were at like 6,200. I can't remember. It was Mount LeConte. You'd have to Google that to see how tall that mountain actually is. And we had cell service. We hadn't had cell service all day, but we were so high up, I guess. I don't know, but suddenly we had cell service. That's a great place to bring somebody in, 10, 20, 50, a couple hundred people into that moment and share that moment, and not just have to wait till a video's cut up and, we insert stuff and all that junk, which I really enjoy doing it. But my favorite thing about making a video is actually editing. If I could hire somebody to do exactly what I do, stand by for 1 minute. Yeah, go ahead. If I could hire somebody to do what I'm doing, I would much rather be at this point in my life behind the camera. But when we're doing live feeds like we are right now, sure, you just run with it. That was Dad, by the way. He lives downstairs, so it comes up to get something. I mean, it is the perfect setting for a sitcom, I'm telling you. But anyway, this is diet, so just so you'll know. But I would really want some feedback. I know I'm not getting any chat right now because, again, the main thing we're trying to do right now is get people. Have you posted anything on Facebook on that, Carolyn? If you could post on Facebook, on my page, the Bill Marion Life, and then our page, your photography page, Twitter, anything you can get, because I thought I sent it to you. No, you don't. Okay. I get you. Never mind. I've got it. Again, what's that?
Because I thought you put up.
The link for it is, what's that?
I'm going to try it.
But unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to see what I'm seeing.
Right, I'm trying it from my web browser.
I don't know if you would have access. Okay, are you trying to access this to see if you can share it from like while you're watching it? That would make sense. That would make sense. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to start the video when it was supposed to start like, an hour ago. I was going to like hold up this book and go, today we're talking about statistics, but that's not even a funny joke now. I'm trying to understand also why it seems to be taking up so much of the juice of my computer. Cause I mean, I'm telling you, man, it's running so slow, but it was a great experience to share. I know we had, I don't want to mention their names. And unfortunately I deleted the video, but we had, I don't know, 7 or 8 of our, pretty faithful subscribers who joined us up there. And it was like a moment. And Big Dummy right here deleted it. And I'm such an idiot. And the reason why I deleted it is because when YouTube is doing something there, when it's uploading and all this stuff, it appeared as if there were 2 different copies of it. And so I was trying to delete one of the copies, but I don't understand why, but it deleted the whole thing. And it even asked me the question, or, the whole thing where, hey, if you delete this, it's gone forever. And yeah, I deleted it forever. I wish there was some way to retrieve that video because I really enjoyed making that video. It was like 12 minutes long. Most of it, I'm just totally rambling, just trying to keep talking so that I can kind of figure out how to do this. And because going live, when you watch one of my polish videos or any of your YouTube creator videos, if you don't know this already, most of the video you shoot is in the garbage. You don't use it. Let's say it's a 7 or 8 minute video, which is what I've gone to. I don't make videos now over 10 minutes. I really don't. I mean, this one here, we're at 14 minutes right here, but this is like different. Like I said, I'm recording this, and as long as the recording is okay, I'm going to cut this up and make it like a ridiculous, silly video about this. But I don't make videos over 7 or 8 minutes, but for 7 or 8 minutes, man, I probably shoot an hour of video, and then you're going through there and trying to figure out what's best and Of course, there's those times where you're shooting video and you think it's great. And you get back and you hear somebody in the background and they're like dropping F-bombs and everything else. And you're like, I can't be in the video. I mean, yes, you can maybe turn the sound down. That's not a good example, but, or maybe it's me talking and somebody's like running their mouth in the background. That happens a lot. Did you figure it out on the copy paste thing?
Mm-hmm. I posted it. You got 3 watching.
All 3. Hey, I do have 3. Did you post it to all 3 places and Twitter? I can handle Twitter. That's fine. By the way, if you're just joining us, what we're trying to do is get some feedback here. The chat should be, your chat is open. I would love to hear what you have to say. I want to hear you talk. And what we're talking about right now is how engaged are you into live video streams from your favorite YouTube creators. So like if you have a favorite YouTube creator or you enjoy our topic, I hope we're at least in the top 500. But if you have a favorite YouTube creator, I would really like to hear if you like it when they go live and share their stuff. And here's Skybarking Info. You watch them some. That's me. Watch them sometimes because I'm trying to think of the last one I saw that went live, and I'm drawing a Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan. I don't agree with everything Joe says. Joe's out there. Joe's like a modern hippie, but his talk show is pretty decent. He interviews very interesting people, and he's kind of a trending personality. He had Elon Musk on there a few weeks ago, so he goes live a lot. I think. I mean, from what I'm seeing, he goes live a lot. Matt Mundane, again, now these YouTube creators, I may not agree with everything they have to say or their personal beliefs or whatever, but they're popular in their world and what they do. And so I watch, especially Matt's movie commentary stuff. He's smart. He knows cinema. So I enjoy watching Matt Mundane or Thor News. Guy's crazy, but he's one of the best. He's one of the best weather guys I think I have ever seen. And he's not been to college to be a meteorologist, nothing like that. He has just studied weather using the satellites and everything that's available to laymen. And he's amazing. But they go live sometimes. And I've really been impressed with the views that they've been able to get from going live. So what I'm going to do right now, if you'll just stand by, I know you guys are in here. I am grateful that you're in here, especially after the crazy day that we've had, just trying to see if this was going to work for us. And it did. The one that we did at the ski slope, it's on Massanutten Mountain. That one was okay. And I enjoyed making that video. Crystal was with me. Carolyn had gone into the lodge to warm up. She was watching us through the window because it was cold, especially to them. But it wasn't what I wanted to do. And because I didn't start out doing the whole landscaping thing, which I was talking about this earlier, so some of you have already heard this, but we're going to pretend that my wallet is my cell phone because I don't know what I did with my cell phone. Oh, Carolyn's got it. Oh, thank you. Carolyn is my assistant today. She's my off-screen assistant, but she said I'm not allowed to film her. By the way, this is our new duplex behind me. It's all of this. It's pretty big. It's as big as the house that we moved from, our house, our home in Tennessee, which is still down there. And actually, I just went back to Tennessee last week for some family business, and I went by our old house. And I love Virginia. I miss our old home, but I love Virginia. So it's like, to me, Harrisonburg, Virginia is home. But anyway, this cell phone, you have like so many seconds to, when you do a live thing, to turn it landscape to where you get a nice picture for you guys who are watching. Well, I missed that window. I end up having to do it like this, and it just looks goofy, and it's not what I'm going for. Anybody else want to weigh in on watching your YouTube? Let me say this. If I'm watching somebody going live, what I'm doing right now is the least favorite thing that I enjoy about watching a YouTuber live. That's just a fact. It's my least favorite thing. And I think a lot of people will say that also, and this is not an insult to any YouTuber. If you're a YouTube creator right now under an assumed name, and I think everybody does that but me. When I go watch other videos, I use my name, but most YouTubers, they use an assumed name or a different name, and that's fine. That's their business. But most YouTubers, if they go and they watch another channel, and maybe you happen to be watching this one, please don't be insulted or think I'm talking down to anyone. But in our business model for this channel, since its inception, when I had no clue of how any of this worked, I never wanted to ask for money. Now, there were reasons for that I won't get into now. These days, there are completely different reasons. I'm a Christian pastor. I pastor a church here in Harrisonburg. And when it comes to asking for money, because of the stereotypes that pastors have, I would just rather not use this platform to ask for donations or ask for people to partner with me. It just feels awkward, and I wouldn't want the two worlds. I wouldn't want people to judge me based on the fact that I'm asking for money on YouTube. It's Patreon, right? And so I never signed up for Patreon. I never signed up for it. So most of the time when people are doing this type of a stream, they're asking for donations, $10 or $20 or whatever the case is. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I would say that the platform itself, I contribute there as well. I've got YouTubers that I contribute to. I just sent Thor $30 because he has saved us from having miserable vacations on 2 occasions. He's that good. I'm telling you, check out his channel. He's wacky. And listen, I'm telling you, if you have sensitive ears, probably Thor isn't the best bet. But if you want to know the weather and what it's going to be over the next 3 weeks, you can ask Carolyn. She's sitting right here. I'll sit and watch Thor, and he's amazing. So yeah, I contribute to people through Patreon. I contribute to people. Sometimes I just send to their PayPal, because a lot of YouTubers under 100,000 subscribers, hey, there's my PayPal account. So yes, I definitely contribute to them. And I believe that the platform itself is going towards that. I think YouTube, I just strongly suspect, we just had the adpocalypse, but then after adpocalypse, small YouTube creators like myself, I think I had 200 subscribers at the time. And I just, they announced that February, which would be a year ago, that they were kind of, if you didn't have 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers, you're done. You're not a partner anymore, and you can't monetize your videos. Well, the funniest part was at that point, I had made a dime off of YouTube, none. But I was still hurt because I was a verified partner and I didn't want to lose that status, and I was getting better and we were increasing slowly. Look, I'm 44 years old, the biggest demographic on YouTube. They're not going to take my channel that seriously. It has surprised me on some videos that they've taken seriously, but overall, they don't take the content I make seriously. And that's fine, because our demographic is 35 and older. That's who we're going for. And that's who we're achieving. That's who we're reaching. If you look at our demographics and the analytics, we are achieving that demographic. That's what we're going for. If younger people want to watch, great, because that's the biggest demographic on YouTube. But, I'm not trying to appeal to that age group. Hey, look, watch Casey Neistat. I do. But hey, hola, greetings from Mexico. Feliz Navidad. I think I said that right. And if I didn't, please forgive me. I'm just glad you're here. But I think back in February, what happened was that, we weren't allowed to monetize any videos because we had dropped down, or we only had like 400 subscribers by that point. But then this miracle happened. I had 2 videos, well, really 3, go 250,000 views. And during that time period, like in no time, we went from 400 subscribers to 5,500 right now, or close to 5,600. Very proud of that. Very grateful for that. And so all of a sudden our channel became profitable about 3 months ago. And that first check, I didn't know what to do. I was so proud of that first check. It came in to the bank, through direct deposit. And I'm like holding it up like Rocky Balboa holding up his belt. I am like, yo, Adrian. Carol and I are crying. For us, it was sizable. I tell you what, let me put it to you this way. You could make a mortgage payment with it. Yeah, not bad. And then after that, it's been, a little supplement here and there, but that's my fault, because I haven't been able to make a lot of videos. I've got a full-time job pastoring a church. Making videos has to be secondary to that. And when we transition here to Harrisonburg, there's a lot to do. But 2019 is looking so much better to produce 2 and 3 videos a week, and that's the goal. And the bottom line is people watch videos that they find entertaining, and they fall in love with consistency. And I think that's been our biggest weakness is consistency. But so back to Patreon and watching live videos and what you normally see, or it feels like you normally see with live videos, I think when it comes to Patreon or people just giving to PayPal, I think the platform itself will go that way. And it may start out with another purge, where YouTube says, okay, you need to have 10,000 subscribers, and just eventually weed out what I call the small change that they're giving to smaller creators like myself now. Just kind of slowly weed that out. By the way, if you hear anything in the background, it's just my daughter. They had no idea I was going live tonight, so I didn't want to lock the house completely down and say, okay, be quiet. Again, I don't have an office here that like I did back in Tennessee to go hide back there and lock the door. So we don't ask for money on here. That's not a part of our business model. So we're looking at other things now that we are verified. We have a considerable amount of subscribers, at least in our opinion. I know it's not much compared to other YouTube creators. What we want to do is come out with some products and some things that we think would be beneficial for people that they would want to buy, like vitamins. I'm kidding. It's not vitamins. I'm sorry. I was just, if you've been on YouTube a while and you watch YouTube, you'll get that. If you've not been on YouTube a while, you won't get that. No, but we thought about, because we're always going outdoors, we're always hiking and going on these adventures, the products that we want to get into, to be honest with you, the overhead's pretty high, and the people that want to partner with us, well, I said this a year ago that we're still in negotiations. Well, let me tell you exactly what that means. We don't make enough money off of that, if we went through that product, to justify pushing it all the time. There's just, the profit margin just isn't that high. And selling things like, again, vitamins, because so many YouTubers sell vitamins. I just can't do that personally. I don't put other people down who want to go that route. So we're looking at other ways to monetize this channel, in case we don't receive any income from YouTube eventually. YouTube is an amazing platform. I mean, just the fact that I can be on top of a mountain today, and I think the height of that mountain, what is it, 2,400 feet or something? Huge mountain, gorgeous mountain. I wish I hadn't have deleted that video. But it's the simple fact that this platform, you can sign on and go live and reach the people that you can reach. Right now, I have 7 people watching. Keep in mind, I'm a 44-year-old man with 3 kids in college, well beyond my years in great looks. I just got just another Christmas text there. Well beyond my years and all that stuff. And the fact that 7 people come in, I'm thrilled with that. I'm happy. I think it's wonderful. But the fact that this platform enables me to do that, I can't stay mad at YouTube. When I first became a YouTube creator 2.5 years ago, it's like I hit the roof all the time when it came to YouTube stuff. But what was happening is I was kind of getting weaponized by the YouTube creators I was following and loved and still do. Because for them, it was a huge shift. Because things were changing rapidly. What I had to get my head around is, why do I do this? Why do I make these videos? I make these videos because I love to. I was making videos at home before I even had the nerve to put them on video. I was trying to learn to edit. I was trying to learn to do stuff. I would do this for free, and I hate it that YouTube probably knows that. But the truth is that it's a great tool also for communities. We use YouTube through networking through our church. It's a great platform. So even if they change everything and I'm not getting checks anymore, I still love YouTube. I guess you could say I'm a company man when it comes to that. I wish they would change some things, but what are you going to do? So that's where I'm at on these live videos. I think what I'm so used to seeing is people asking for money, or it's an interview where the 2 people are live and it's kind of an event where they're trying to boost their views and maybe boost their subscribers. But I would like to use it in I won't say a completely different way. It's a different way for me, where if I've got good signal, you blow it up. And if you're still watching in the background or something, does that sound like it would interest you? And that kind of information would be great. Just to say, yeah, that's good, or I'd rather you cut the video and polish it up. Because a lot of times that's what I feel. A lot of times I would rather, instead of the buffering and all the things that happens with live videos, I would almost rather watch the video later. And my wife, Carolyn, you guys know Carolyn, she says this exact same thing. She says, instead of watching a live video, I would much rather the video be polished and ready to go and not have this kind of spontaneous thing. Smitty Smith says, I just joined. What is the topic of the conversation? Smitty, I'm so glad you asked. All right. So one of the reasons why I wanted to go live tonight is because I've tried to go live 3 times, and one time was pretty successful, but I accidentally deleted it. And once you delete it, it's gone. So that was the first thing that happened. And the whole idea is with our channel, we're an outdoor channel, we're a go get 'em channel, we're a down the road channel. Is going live something that our viewers, if you would be interested in seeing us do more. And earlier we were talking to Skybark. You know, to make sure I've got that correctly. Skybarking info. You were talking about you contribute to Patreon, and he said that he watches live videos sometimes. And I kind of got off topic talking about we don't ask for money on this channel. It's just not a part of our business model. I contribute to other YouTubers, but again, it's just not a part of our business model. So the idea is that instead of it being what I see used for live videos most of the time, which is, you know, they're asking for money, they're kind of having a rally. Not sure what that is. I hope you're still seeing this, because I got some message and it was crazy. I totally lost my train of thought on that. Sorry. But again, anyway, do you want to see live stuff? And the way I mentioned is, like, there are times where we're knee deep in the mountains. Like, again, the places we go, you just can't capture it on camera, as sometimes how far in the woods we are. And I can't discuss on YouTube. I try my best to honor all of the rules of YouTube. Again, I'm a company man. I believe in the company. So I try to honor the rules of YouTube. And I'm very careful about what I say and the precautions that we take and some things that we do to make sure that we're protected. But man, we go way back in the woods. And every now and then, especially at these high elevations, you know, when you're at 6,000, 7,000, out west, 8,000, 9,000, you know, when you're way up there, you'll get all your bars. It's like you're rocking and rolling, and you can go live right in the middle of that. And going through I wouldn't call it a hassle, just going through the hour or two of work and making sure everything's set up right. I'm wondering if that might be something that I need to focus on when Carol and I do go on these trips. I've just wondered if that's something that we should take our time to do. You have to understand, a lot of times, if you watch our videos, if you, let's say, go back and start watching videos in 2017, some of them are cringy. You have to understand, if you go back all the way to the beginning of our videos and watch forward, you will cringe. You probably cringe now. You're probably cringing during this, but I'm all good with that. But those early videos, I cringed pretty bad. They're awful. But I was learning. As we went on learning to make videos, trying to get better at making videos, a lot of times you're getting out for 5 minutes. You're shooting what you got to shoot. Carolyn's got a photography business, which I think we get as many people that contact her about her photos now as we do our video, which is interesting. I want to read this question. Usually the channels, this is Skybarking, and he's saying, usually the channels I watch, the live content is for live questions and answers. Otherwise, the topic content is edited videos. Yes. I mentioned Matt Mundane earlier. That's him. That's what he does. You know, he does what I'm doing right now. He'll hit his vape, you know, which is, it's kind of interesting. It's so noir, you know. I've always wanted him to put it in black and white. I do not know Matt, by the way. I'm talking about him like I know him. I don't know him from Adam. If you watch his channel, great. So tell him I said hello. But I've always wanted to put him to put his live videos in black and white, because he'll sit and vape on his back porch, and it's like smoke all around him, and he's talking about movies and philosophy. And of course, he has, like, instead of 7 people, which, again, very thankful for the 7 people. I'm so glad you're here. Seriously, it's much better than pretending people are here and then posting it later, which I've done that. But Matt, that's what he does. It's exactly what he does. He'll take questions and anything else. Now, which is a really good segue there, Skybarking. And that's a very interesting YouTube name. If you wanted to share, like, where you got that name, I would love to hear it, because it's cool. If you watch our content and you have questions, fire away. I would love to field questions now about our channel. If you have watched a bunch of our videos, and tell you all about us if you're interested. You may not be interested. You may be like, nah, I've just signed up because I saw it on Twitter. But the topic that we were discussing, but we can change the subject anytime you want to, is it better to have live videos when we're in these remote places, interesting places? I guess what made me think of it, I'll just add this, what made me think of this being something we focus on in 2019 was today when I started watching the playback before I deleted the video. I started watching the playback and it was beautiful for a cell phone. It was absolutely gorgeous. And I was looking, trying not to, I had the camera turned around backwards or whatever. And I was looking back at the sunset. It did this really cool thing. I'll post some pictures from Carolyn's camera, but it was doing this really cool thing. And I thought, if I had bumped into this moment on YouTube, let's say I'm watching YouTube, I'm not creating. I try to watch at least 20 YouTube videos a day so I can know what everybody else is doing, 20 or more, golly, 30, 40 videos a day. And had I gone past that moment from a thumbnail or just checking on one of my favorite creators, I would have watched that. Not because of my rambling, bumbling mouth, not because of that, but because it was beautiful. It was a moment that I think, I know this from comments, 3 or 4 different comments. There were other people watching there that were connecting with our channel. And remember, this is all about connection. That's what our channel is all about. It's about let's experience life. Let us tell you where we're going. And I used to say this in all of my videos. I used to say, hey, where are you going? Post it on our Facebook page and, try to send them to @BillMarionLife. By the way, we'd love to have you at @BillMarionLife. I post our videos on there, but what that's really for is messaging. People want to message and say, hey, I had one guy ask me, because we were in North Carolina all the time, and we'll be again soon. It's one of my favorite places, Western North Carolina. He wanted to buy property, and he said, "What do you know anything about that area?" And I like, sure. And man, we had great interaction for like several weeks, as far as just contacting, getting to know each other, and he's wanting to retire down there, things like that, or conversations about where you're going or something you wanted to share on our page, where you're like, look, I took this video. What do you think? You want to put it on your channel? I love that stuff. We haven't had a lot of that, and I quit saying it in the video, but essentially that's what we want our channel to be, is a place where we interact. Something that we're not doing now that because of the transition from Chattanooga up here is having activities. We had activities, I think we had 4 or 5 different activities with YouTube, with our community at YouTube. And I think we averaged about 15. I mean, I know that these other YouTubers, like, they rent out stadiums, they're like rock stars. Okay. But for us, we were thrilled to have 15 people, at one of our events. And so we had a hiking event, and it wasn't well attended. It didn't do great. I taught a class on map reading, and then we went on a nice hike. We played in the creek. There's this beautiful creek back there. Of course, that video is in our is in our catalog, just under videos. I think it says ANFL, A Nose for Life hike, and it's cool. It's all right. Our best outing was the solar eclipse, and it disappoints me. I'm a little disappointed that video didn't play well. Like, why that video didn't catch? I guess because everybody was making videos about the eclipse. I don't know. The video we made about the eclipse, like it was a preview of our event. It did okay. It did over 1,000 views, which for us, that's great. We'll take that. But the actual video of our community gathering at the event was, I thought it was pretty good. I spent a lot of time editing. Spent a lot of time focusing on, making it look decent and kind of showing the people that we had there. We had people there from all over. We even had a guy there from, check this out, he's a retired colonel, I think. He and his wife, great people, and they were from Harrisonburg, Virginia, having no idea at that moment in 2017 that I was going to end up in Harrisonburg, Virginia. That's hysterical to me. But we had people there from all over the place. Hey, I've got some people. Brad Tucker. Now, I know Brad from prison. Brad and I served time together. For me, petty theft, but for Brad, it was something with a dog. I'm not sure. I'm not going to talk about it. But Brad Tucker says there are some really low-flying helicopters over your old Ponderosa right now. Well, Brad, it's none of my business where you hide your stash. I'm just kidding, Brad. I miss you, man. I love you. They're probably looking for me, Brad. I miss you, man. I do. Angela says, hi, in Branson area, thinking about live streaming when you move to Austin. When we move to Austin, do you think it's worth doing? That's what we're talking about, Angela. That's the great question. When we go to these places, and I know some of you have heard this again, but I just want to, anybody that's not been in here, I'm just catching them up. when Carolyn and I go to these amazing places up in the mountains, God, I could keep on going. Even out west, like in the middle of nowhere, you'll get a signal for crazy reasons. I guess it's the Illuminati, Brad. It's the Illuminati. Or it's just for Brad. Or CERN. It's CERN or HARP. No, I'm kidding. You'll go to these places and all of a sudden you have signal. And it's a great place to show where you're at and to try to get people to engage on a different level. The question is it worth your time? You know, especially if one of the places when we were at Mount LeConte over in the Pisgah National Forest, it's over on the Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina. We got a video about it, but when you're up there, you get signal because you're so high up, and it was pouring the rain, and we were like under the shelter, but the view was amazing, and it was a great place to go live. But I didn't have the settings right. I didn't have everything ready for it to be monetized. I remember this is a business. So everything that we go to do, we have to look at profitability, whether it's worth it, whether it's worth our time. So Angela, I would say that with YouTube, I would use every tool that they have. At the beginning of this, before we had like 10 people in here, and I'm just about to cry that we have 10 people in here. I think it's the most I've ever had on a live chat. I'm so happy. Thank you for being here. Anyway, when suddenly 9 people right there where I said that. Anyway, that's just hysterical. 8, 7. I don't even know where I was at now. Is it worth it to do live stream? I don't know. I got totally sidetracked between that and Brad Tucker, my old prison buddy. By the way, I've never been to prison. I'm just kidding, but Brad has. I'm playing Brad. I hope your baby girl's doing well. Hope Ruth's doing well, by the way. Making sure I've not missed anything on the questions here. No, we're good to go there. Carolyn's kind of helping me. She's sort of like the Paul Schaefer of this. David Letterman fans, you'll get that. The Skybarking info. Thought I'd hang around to see it in action. Well, you know what? I'm not sure if we're going to call this action or not. Maybe. Here's what I will say, and back to Angela and Skybark you as well, is that I think going live is something that in my case, I have to practice to get better at. I have to do it more. I have to do it more and to get better at it. Said it's live. I'm trying to thought I'd hang around for you. See it in action. It's live. I may have missed your point there. I apologize, Skybarking. I may have misunderstood you. Don't mind helping. Hey, I appreciate it. I'm all for people helping. I tell you what, we also do. We invite people when we go. There's certain things that we do where we're like, hey, meet us up there. Let's do it. I know that YouTube doesn't necessarily recommend that kind of thing, but in the right circumstances, let's say it's over here at the Skyline in Virginia at a place called Big Meadows. You can Google it, like open up another browser if you want to and Google it. It's public. It's always happening up there. So if people want to have a get together and do videos together or other creators, we're all for that. I keep saying because again, I'm not used to going live. I usually, just a little secret for our channel, I usually edit those out. Seriously. By the way, if you didn't know this, our channel is above 5,000 subscribers now. I am thrilled. And again, the channel is profitable, and it's because of people like you. So even the 9 of you now was 10, but now there are 9. You've helped make that possible this year, and I am so very grateful. We've had a tremendous year. I believe in God, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. I shouldn't be. I'm a pastor, so I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I'm a pastor up here in Harrisonburg. So it's been a crazy transition from Chattanooga here, but we're still hoping to be creating at least 2 to 3 videos going into 2019 because it's a great side revenue. Hey, I'm just being honest. It's about that. It's about making it rain. Okay, it's about making it rain. I'm just kidding. Honestly, I love this, and it helps me with our church because it's a small church, so we don't have a media person at our church. Well, we have media people, but people that cut video and that can kind of get the face of our community, face of our church out into our community. And so learning to make YouTube videos has been a tremendous asset for me to be able to create videos about what our churches do. By the way, Spark, thank you, and Merry Christmas as well. Thank you so much for joining by. If you have to pop out of here, I completely understand. Also, if you are interested in providing suggestions, any of you, I would love to hear your suggestions, comments, sarcasm, or snide remark. All the above is accepted. We're putting out a video. Here's Brad again. Hold on. Made possible by viewers. Made possible by viewers just like you. Keep those cards and letters coming in, folks. That's the only thing that keeps us on the air. No, Brad, I'm actually getting paid by YouTube. You missed the first part of this video, but it's our channel doesn't ask for money. We never solicit for money. Most channels do now. They have Patreon and other methods. Some just ask it to go straight to their PayPal to, provide a little bit of assistance so that they can keep making videos. And that is actually turning into the number one thing that people do to raise money on YouTube to be able to do this full time. Carolyn and I prayed about it, and we made a commitment not to ask for money, even through Patreon, which is a very legitimate company. They're kind of going through it right now with some issues that I don't even want to get into, but it's a very legitimate company. And Patreon is like, well, you give to them, they take a percentage, and they keep everything on the up and up. But we just didn't feel led to do that. I'm a pastor, and for us, we want to make money through our merchandise that we want to sell, as well as what we're given by YouTube for having so many views. And the channel became profitable in, I think it was October of this past year. I think that was our first, and we've received a check every month since. So it's like, woohoo, that's great. But it's a lot of fun regardless. Let me catch up here. Don't have a whole lot of subscribers, not enough to get paid by YouTube. Just wish the trolls had more creativity. You know what? If you have trolls, you're doing great. Trolls are not necessarily a bad thing. Trolls do a few things. I made this video. It's one of our biggest videos, and it actually helped me become verified. And I am not proud of this video. I just learned to edit a little, okay? And I hope you're still listening to this, Angela, because it's just for you. I just learned to edit, and it's a conspiracy theory video, but it's tongue in cheek. None of it was supposed to be like, real. It's making fun of the conspiracy theories that surrounded the Cumberland Gap Tunnel. And it's a long video. It's like 18 minutes long. My average view time, and Angela, I know you know what I'm talking about as far as your analytics and your stats. My average view time in that video is 9 minutes, which is great. So I made a fortune off that video. And it's an embarrassing video because it shocked me that at least half of and I think there's over, how many comments? 20,000? I forget how many thousand comments. Thousands of comments on this. And so many of the comments are people that think I'm promoting the conspiracies, and they're agreeing with me. And I'm trying to make fun of it. And then you got your trolls who are saying things that are just like, what? But if people are commenting on your channel, it's helping your channel. Now, unless they're being abusive. If they're being abusive, the guidelines say kick them off, especially like during a chat. I see it says, I like watching your travel and hiking and outdoor videos. I love making those, especially in beautiful parts of the country. Lots more are coming. I'll tell you what we're running into, Skybark, is when we go to the skyline now, we moved from Chattanooga. It's a lot warmer in Chattanooga. Today up on the skyline, it was, I think when we left, it was like 28 degrees. When we got there, it was 31 degrees. So it's not like being in the deep south where hiking in January and February is just A-okay. It's not here. You have to like wear 18 layers of clothes. So it's harder to make outdoor videos up here. I've got to figure that out. I don't know what you're saying sure to, Brad. I can't remember what you're saying sure to, but I love you anyway. That video is why I subscribed, because it was funny. Which one, Angela? I don't know which one you're talking about. Oh, the Cumberland Gap. Oh, the Cumberland Gap. I get it now. I get it. The Cumberland Gap. That's what it was supposed to be. Is funny, and I'm glad you subscribed. I'm glad you loved it. We got a lot of our subscribers from that. The Arizona video. Carolyn and I had a very, very tragic event happen to us a couple years ago. Too much detail for this particular video. It was devastating, and it definitely shaped our lives forever, because if there was ever a moment we had to get a hold of God, it was that moment. And I mean, it was one crisis after another one, and we found ourselves in this crazy situation in Arizona. And I'll just tell you, I didn't know what to do. And so we just drove. And while we were driving, I started filming everything. Not to make a YouTube video, because the situation was so tragic that we were essentially filming between crying and wondering what we were going to do, and in a complete panic. But I knew that I was going to save this, and sometime down the road that I would use it. So I did. A year later, I made a top 10 video about, or it's top crazy facts about Arizona. That video, 260,000 views the last time I checked, and I have made so many online friends from people in Arizona. Carol and I are trying to plan a trip back out there, because I've got, I'm not exaggerating, probably 100 people who are like, please have a get together in Arizona. And there's like 100 people who would do it right now because they love that video. Speaking of that, in a few days, on the 27th, I believe, I'm going to be releasing a video about sunrises in the Grand Canyon, because I did film a sunrise out there. You want to be sure to check that. There's no talking in it. It's just a video of all of these images we captured in one morning, in one morning of the Grand Canyon. Brad, you are the king of conspiracies, man. You work for the government, man. I done know that CERN's got you and HARP has got you. I'm just kidding, Brad. I'm just kidding. Brad is a great guy. He's a great friend, and a loyal. He is a loyal, a nose for life supporter. I'm just kidding. He rolls his eyes and makes fun of my videos, along with my acorn business that went belly up a few years ago. Some of you don't know this, but I did start an acorn business, but I was going to, and I would have been a billionaire if not for Brad Tucker talking me out of it. I'm just saying. Anyway, we've got some great videos planned for the next several weeks. If you watch, Angela, this is for you, especially if you're still there. If you watch a lot of YouTube videos, you'll notice, or a lot of my videos, in the background, there's always music. I love music. A lot of times, the music is helping to tell you what I'm really trying to say. I won't even get into that, but it is, especially for other YouTube creators who know where I get the music. But I thought it would be a cool video to have other YouTube creators who create that music and provide it to YouTube. And then we, of course, get it royalty free and talk about those creators. And so I took a shot in the dark, and I called Kevin MacLeod. And Kevin MacLeod, he probably penned 30% of the YouTube canned music. And he has agreed to do an interview with me. And I'm so excited to interview him. He's a genius composer. He's just amazing. And so when you watch videos on YouTube, there is a tremendous chance that the music you're hearing in the background is his. There are exceptions to that. People like Casey Neistat and some of the huge YouTubers, they have their own people that write for them, I'm sure. But if you're using YouTube, good old YouTube canned music, you're probably hearing Kevin's music. And so I'm really excited and honored to be able to interview him. So that's coming. A lot of videos are coming about our area, because, man, if you live in Virginia, it was the same way in Tennessee. If you live in this part of Virginia, it's like everything cool is just right around you. Angela also says she watches a lot because I'm retired on disability and has mobility problems. Well, Angela, we need to pray for you that God blesses you and gives you energy, and I'm thankful that you're watching this video, and that we give you some excitement and something to do, and that you can kind of enjoy us getting out there. And I appreciate you being here today. I really do. I'm very grateful for it. I'll tell you one thing. This is probably for my 8 people or 10 people, personal record, who are on here. I've had more on Facebook before, but on the YouTube Live, I just don't get that many. But this has been one of the most successful ones that I've ever had. And I'll tell you what it's telling me, especially today when we tried this earlier, it's telling me that there is somewhat of a market, at least at our level, Carolyn, to maybe pursue this. And I need to look at the analytics and see how profitable it is to, how long do you spend live? Do you spend I've been on here an hour. Do you take that long, when you're live, how does that work financially? I'm sure the more people you have, the longer you're on, because YouTube wants people on the site. Good night from Saudi. Brad Tucker says, good night from Saudi. Love the Marion's, got to get some sleep. So I can say that again. Good night, Brad. Carolyn says, good night, Brad. We love you, man. And go work for that government, Brad. The Illuminati. But anyway, for the rest of you, I'm going to have to sign off as well. And the reason why is the battery on my computer is about to go dead, because I had no idea that I was going to be here this long. But I'm going to try this again sometime, and we're going to see how it works. I want to thank you. Oh, Sky Barkin, you were here the whole time. That's excellent. By the way, join us on Facebook. at Bill Marion Life. We can continue this conversation through Facebook, which is fine with me. And because I have my cell phone for that while I plug my computer in. And I'm going to do this again soon because I've really enjoyed it. You guys have a fantastic night. The low battery on the Mac just came up. Have a fantastic night. And thank you again for being a part of this community and joining us. Now I've got to figure out how to get out of this. You push buttons until it turns off, I guess. Pop out. I have no idea how to turn it off. There should be an off button. This is hysterical. I can't turn it off. End stream. Maybe the button that says end stream. Okay.